Okay, another challenge that we often get. Should we be bringing children into the world who will be abused, unwanted, they'll live in foster care or have to be adopted, or they're going to have genetic issues, disabilities, pain, etc.?
Well, this is often, again, an objection that we hear from the pro abortion crowd, that it's so cruel that children would have to live in poverty, or they're probably going to be abused, or wouldn't it be better if they didn't have to struggle in, a high crime area? And it's so stunning to me, because it's true that growing up in poverty, or being in a situation of abuse, or where you're raised in um, an environment where there might be a lot of addiction around you, that is horrible. Or having to go into foster care. These children suffer in terrible ways. But it stuns me that the solution is kill them. That's your solution. Your solution is kill them. Again, that is something that feeds into a politically convenient narrative, right? I want to advance this supposed right to abortion, or autonomous sexuality, or whatever it is. And the expense is, the cost is child sacrifice. And it's just a rehashing, honestly, of the same kinds of idolatry that Israel had to face when they were going into the land of Canaan. They needed to obliterate a couple terrible idols in particular. One was Moloch, the one that wanted child sacrifice so that you could get blessings on your crop, blessings on your future, blessings on your businesses. Or the fertility goddess, Asherah, which was you're going to have the same kind of fertility blessings that go along. And to me, that's the same thing as, I don't want this child right now. I want the child in the future. I want a child in the future, but right now it's going to hamper, so I'm going to sacrifice this child for the sake of future children, or my career, or whatever it is. So like, these are old ideas. Like, we want to eliminate undesirables because we want something else. But children pay the price. Like, it's always kids that pay the price for that unrestricted, unfettered sexual access and freedom that adults are enjoying. So we have got to reject this wholesale. And if we really cared about, they do it in the guise of, we care about kids, so we're going to abort them. No, if you cared about kids, if you really didn't want them living in situations of poverty or abuse, do you know how you care for those kids? You advance the unbending reality that children need, deserve, and have a right to be raised by their married mother and father, because there you will be statistically eradicating the likelihood they're going to grow up in an abusive situation, or poverty, or be put into foster care. So it is true that children suffer. The solution is not to kill them before birth. The solution is get on the them before us train and support everything that we are doing, because we are the ones that are genuinely eliminating the suffering of children.
I'd love to know too, from that argument, where are the humans that did not, are not, or will not suffer? Where are those humans? If the criteria is, if a human's going to suffer, it's better to kill them, there are no humans left, because we all are going to suffer. Yes, of course, some people have a harder start than others. Some people go through more traumatic things than others. But like you're saying, a lot of this can be alleviated when a mom and dad get married and have their children and finish high school before they get pregnant. That success sequence that we talk about. Of course, there's still tragedy. There's still horrible things that happen in the world, but a great amount of human suffering is alleviated by the principles that we talk about. And at the end of the day, even if you come from a not religious perspective, even if you're purely evolutionary, can you really argue that humans are not better if we endure and go through and survive through difficult things? Like, wouldn't even people who don't believe in sort of a metaphysical still think that some level of hardship crafts us into better people? That's what's fascinating to me, is they sort of, a lot of our pro-life advocate friends, prominent friends, say, pro-abortion folks want to eliminate the sufferer instead of eliminating the suffering. So kill the person instead of, like you're saying, going after the bigger issues. Let's fix the issues, not kill the people that would suffer.
Yep. And it really does have to do with what's at the very top of your value structure, your value hierarchy. This is sort of a Jordan Peterson way of putting it, but it really is, what is your God? What's your God? If your God is sexual autonomy and sexual freedom, then of course you're going to abort unwanted children. Of course you're going to eliminate the ones that are undesirable. But if your God is God, then of course you're going to protect the vulnerable. Of course you're going to align your life and your habits and your sexual behavior in ways that are going to redound to the benefit of children. So, I mean, we can address these questions, but they ultimately come back to a worldview issue, and that is, who's your God and what kind of sacrifices are they requiring?